This is the three-phase movements of the football throw, focusing on the scapula, elbow, and wrist. In the preparation phase, we see the scapula starting in retracted, moving into retraction on the frontal sagittal plane. The elbow is in a flex position, going into flexion on the sagittal medial plane, and the wrist is in an extended position, going into flexion on the sagittal medial plane. Next, we'll move on to the acceleration phase. So in this acceleration phase, we see the scapula protracted in protraction on the frontal sagittal medial, the elbow in a flex position going into extension on the sagittal medial, and the wrist in extended position going into flexion on the sagittal medial. The follow-through phase, which is right here, we see the scapula in a protracted going into protraction on the frontal sagittal, the elbow in a extended position going into extension on the sagittal medial, and the wrist in a flexed position going into flexion on the sagittal medial. And that is the side profile of this. And here is the back portion of a slow version of the throw as well. The preparation, we can also see the scapula retracted going into retraction, the elbow flex going into flexion, the wrist extended going into flexion. The acceleration portion of this, we see scapula protracted going into protraction, elbow flex going into extension, wrist extended going into flexion. This is the follow through right here. The scapula is protracted going to protraction, elbow extended going to extension, and wrist in flex going into flexion.